Welcome to another edition of Shoebox Poetry. Sorry, I just completely blanked on it there. But anyway, as welcome in. We are here today. I just want to remind you to go check out my friends Sarah Aikenhead, Bill Roland Miller over on Cast Into the Fire podcast. They are doing an excellent job over there of basically talking and discussing different things about books. So Redwall, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, anything you want to talk about or want to listen to, they have it over there. Check out my friend Dwight Kirk II and his simulated sports. So basically, he does NBA, he does baseball. He wrapped up the the basketball football season with his Detroit Lions, basically winning the Super Bowl, not the World Series. But he did simulate a game today between the Braves and the Detroit Tigers. So definitely check that out. He's over here on Facebook, Solo Dolo Sports, or you can find him over on YouTube. And of course, check out my friend Alberta, Aria, and Brian and their Reiki services. They're on there. And my friend Jenna Jinks Portraits over on Instagram. Check out her portraits and maybe you can commission her for one. So let's jump into this. This is, as I said, I am reading Cosmic Beauty, which is over on Amazon. This was my latest book that was published back in November of last year. And I'm working on the newest one, about 65 pages, so I may end up publishing it before too long. But I really need to jump over and do other things because I have a couple of shows that are going to be coming up. And I will talk about those later on at the end of this thing. This one right here is called To Rest My Head. And this poem is actually interesting because I can tell you a few things about it afterwards. Close, wreathed in you, draped arms over my shoulders, drowning in your kisses upon my chin, cheek, and lips. Neck you trail, I need to fix that, down to my shoulder before returning for a long kiss. Fingers and palms full of my hair, rising to rest my head upon your breast. As you hug me closer, my arms wrapped around your waist, drawing me into you like a flame to a candle's wick. All of those moments of loneliness fade away as I listen to your heart beating, your hands lingering, and they slowly slide down my arms, eye to eye again, and gazing into your iris. Deep blue, she says as she looked deeper into my eyes, and those so tired eyes. She touched my nose, running her finger along the bridge, feeling where my nose was broken, tracing my childhood scars as she smiled. What are your traumas? The ones buried beneath the tear-stained scars, because I want to kiss them away and help you to heal them. Now, with this poem, it's kind of funny because this right here was about that situation that I had. And I'm not really sitting here looking like I enjoy these things or whatever, because it was kind of I had to let it go because I had feelings for this person, and her and I in that complicated sense of things couldn't, do those things, or couldn't be that, because that was one thing she said that it can't happen. So I had to let it go myself. I had to let it go, as much as it hurt. Which, I mean, she's probably watching these things, or on my Facebook or Instagram or whatever, or YouTube or whatever. So she's probably going to see this video, and she's probably going to know these things. Is she aware of these things? So I don't know, but you can't change what happened. It is what it is, and I'm sorry, but it is what it is. The next thing is called An Embrace. I still see you when I look into the mirror, rising up behind me, wrapping me in your embrace, The scream escaped my lips as I turned to face the she-devil, with outstretched claws scratching at the air when I moved out of reach, blood dripping from her fangs of her last victim, looking to add me to her list of fallen men. The fight was met with the plunger in hand and the shower curtain hanging in the other, like a gladiator taking swings. Streaks and marks was the story as I fought tooth and nail to rally from her onslaught, pinning her to the floor. I used the plunger to cover her mouth as I stepped over her in a chance to race for freedom. And basically this was like when you watch a lot of those horror movies and stuff where, that was basically the concept of what I created for this in this kind of a story thing. And looking about how you're being attacked in the bathroom. So this next one's called The Shallows. The tides rise and claim in calm chaos of the sea. Every sailor knows the sea when she is mad. Calm seas never skilled a sailor. But the curves of a woman are like the tides, so easy to drown in the crest of a wave when the riptides hide in the shallows. She draws you under with outstretched arms to embrace you in a slow, tender kiss, just below the waves, and you can't escape the pull of her currents. So you drown in the kiss of an angel with soft lips and feeling of a warmth in her embrace as she entangles you with the love of her heartstrings. And with this poem, I was looking along, keeping with the one from previously, but I wanted to do something about the sirens in the ocean, or mermaids and stuff, and what they do to try and tying it in with a sailor theme, kind of. And that's what I went with here, just to have a little bit of fun, being a little bit of creative and telling a story. The next one is called Upon Her. The raven calls to her from a gravestone. Something wicked draws too close. Something wicked follows in the shadows. She stood in wonder as the shadows creeped in upon her, and the last rays of the day die upon the stones and the trees alone in the dark. The crow still calls to her, drawing her closer where she can read the name written upon the stone. The crow flies away, leaving a rose as her spirit fades, curled edges, all pink and red, paper heart strung together with twine and love. A precious piece of art created to hang on a fridge for all to see. It's the threshold of other things those little hands create out of love for their parents. And I need to go in because that's actually two different poems. Well, I thought I fixed that. It's a good thing I just did this. But yeah, that's two different poems, because the other one is about this one right here, basically the first one was about the crow, or Upon Her, was for a word prompt, was for a picture prompt actually of a crow sitting on the tombstone, and it was basically you had to come up with something for that, and that was what the poem was about. Basically, it was about a crow being in a cemetery where the spirit, or in this case ghost, comes to shoot a bird away. The other one talks about a picture that a child made, and basically the little homemade art craft piece, to be to hang on the fridge. That's basically what that was about. So I need to go in and fix that. And this one right here, next one's called Rise Above Defeat. Is a poem. Well, it's a mini poem, probably for one of the many word prompts that I did. And it's 11 words, so basically, yeah. Pain is the only reason to rise above defeat of life. The next one is called Drop to Drop. Rushing from drop to drop, a thirsty spider hurries to drink his fill. Small drops disappear in an instant as the spider drinks to break the heat. And so basically one day I was sitting out on my patio, well, a little patio kind of thing out here, and it started raining, and it was a thunderstorm, and it just started raining, but it was just like, intermittent showers before the actual rain came in, or the heavy rain. And I happened to notice a Grande Longlegs was running around on the rail or the banisters or the thing, sipping up the drops of rain that had fallen or collected. And I was watching it. I took a picture of it and I posted it on Instagram. And did that. And somebody said, you ought to come up with a poem for that. And voila, there's a poem. So the last poem I'm going to read to you has been revoked. That's what it's called. I am a woman, and this is my body. It's a sacred place where only I belong. You were a guest here, and now your privilege has been revoked. Because this is my temple. I will handle its upkeep without your meddling hands. There's nothing here that belongs to you, not anymore, nor longer. I scrubbed your fingerprints from my skin. I washed away the blood of the verbal beatings you gave me. They fall upon deaf ears. No, I don't belong to you. And you're in no position demanding anything from me. I am not yours to command. So take your entitled thoughts and walk out the door. Your kindness or friendship isn't enough to part my legs to you. Nor does it make you entitled to anything whether we're married or not. It's not about being turned on or a preface to suit me. You don't control me. And I will not surrender myself to this. Surrender myself. This is my body, my stronghold, my defiant stand against the invasion of men. I will make my own choices, live my life without your God, if need be, because you don't rule me. So take your morals and your slander and shove them up your ass. So basically, this is my spin on when the Supreme Court reversed their decision on Roe versus Wade. I am not really a political person, and I don't really, desire to get into those things. But when it comes to a woman's body, it's her choice about what she wants to do with it. So why do you feel that you should have control over that? There are other things that you can really go into if you want to really, dive deeper into things, which are other things. But this, a woman's body is basically her body. And there's so many things that touched on about the whole thing about friendship and friends and having those friends that think they are required to be able to have access to your body, or the friends with benefits thing, when it's really no. It's just kind of a strange thing. It's a whole different kind of ball of wax when you start getting into it. So, but here we go. We have reached our, because I really don't want to have a long thing, but so Tuesday night I will be on Poets Playground and Instagram, part of the open mic over there. Thursday night I will be at Island Vibes, doing an open mic there, like I normally do. And then Saturday, talking Flirty after dark in Columbia at Visions. Is the show got postponed, so they are doing it next Saturday. They're doing it next Saturday, and I will be there, and with a couple other really great poets, and performing for this show. And I look forward to seeing y'all. I will the flyers on my website if you want to get tickets to be able to come to the show, or just in general just to support us. So I hope to see you again probably next Sunday. It depends on how things go, but either way, y'all take it easy, have a good night, and I will see y'all next week. hopefully.